What's up farmers, and welcome to another Stardew Valley video. On this content we're going to design a shed, whereas previously we've already designed the abandoned house, which was the place of the hot mouse. Before we proceed, I would like to thank the current 107 Stardew Valley designers who supports this type of content. I just saw recently a YouTube comment where somebody asked for a design that's a movie themed, and my first thought was he wanted me to design a shed that's appropriate for movie watching, and let's start doing just that. First things first, what I have in mind is to create a dim space, and for that we're going to use a dark color for flooring and at the same time a dark color for the walls. We don't want to choose a single pattern on the first try. What we want to do is to create or plan out 5 different patterns and then choose from there. After picking 5 designs for our wallpapers, we're going to do the same for our floors. So now that we have our options for both wallpapers and floorings, we can then decide from there which one to choose for our design. So now that we've had our final designs for wallpapers and flooring, we can then start adding appropriate furnitures that matches our current theme. So in this shed, I decided to use the modern bench simply because of its color, which matches the area. Next, we want to add the most important item, which is a plasma TV, and we want to make sure that we put it on the center of our shed. We can add the sofa in between just so we can fill up this space here. I've decided to adjust the sofas and benches just so we can have that pretty space in between the TV and the chairs. Next thing is to decide what plant to use on this area. Plants are good for ornaments inside the shed or even outside the shed. Next is to select the appropriate table that we want to use, and then after that is to place chosen food that we want to put on the table. Let's proceed with installing windows on our shed, and I think we can go ahead and simply choose the small window. In most cases, when it comes to window, what we want to do is make them symmetrical to each other, which means that if we put a window on the left side of the shed, we want to put the same window on the right side as well. Since our shed is dark, what we want to add is an item that provides good amount source of light. So in this shed, we're going to use wall sconces, if I got the pronunciation right, and then we're just going to put those around the walls of our shed. Let's proceed with adding additional items that we think are appropriate for this design. We can try adding bookshelves. This is so that we can fill up the spaces that we currently have. We can choose any bookshelves, but I think the most appropriate one is the one that has the color brown. Let's add another one here just so we can have a nicely symmetrical design. We can then add another table here so that we can fill in the gap between these 2 bookcases. And I think we're halfway through our design. I've forgotten to mention that we've added some lamps down below just so we could have an appropriate light down the portion of the shed. I've decided to add a couple of items here near the bookshelf just to see how it looks, and I kind of figured out that it's not really the kind of placement that I wanted, so I had to change this one here. So let's try to fill up the gaps here a bit by experimenting. So I'm thinking we should add something just beside to the Genimo cart here, and I think using the teddy bear here is an excellent choice. Adding another lamp here. Next, I thought of adding fish tanks here, and then putting some random fishes. Next is to start adding appropriate rugs, and I think on this occasion the dark rug suits well. Let's add another type of rug here, the oceanic rug, and let's see how it goes. Next, let's add additional benches here just so we can accommodate more people watching the television. And finally, I think let's add something just beside the fish tank. I think that's it, everyone. Thank you so much for designing this shed with me. Let me show you guys how it looks like. And that's it. See you guys on the next design. Cheers!